Monsters, we get a bad rap. We're not all scary and looking to destroy things. Sure, that's what you see, but that's what they want you to see. Who's they? The people that make monster games. I still remember the first time I played a monster game. I was so excited, but I was disappointed.
Come on, Red, let's play this new game. It has monsters.
Monsters? I'm down. That sounds fresh.
I'm so excited. Everyone says this game is the bomb.
Me too. Can't wait.
Here we go, Redford. Let's destroy these monsters. Get them!
Wait, what? Yeah, can you believe it? I thought I was gonna be the hero. But the game was about destroying monsters. And it didn't get any better from that point on.
Down with the monsters. Chase them. Defeat them. Don't let them get away.
Down with the monsters.
Finish him.
I never, ever played a monster game after that. Except, well, you know, the occasional King of Tokyo.
Okay, let's stick to the game we're covering. No King of Tokyo.
What about King of New York? So recently, I see this box on our table, and I think, oh boy, here we go, another one. Why? So, I start looking through it. I see tiles, and more monsters. And I'm sure there's a hero somewhere here that's gonna hunt down all these monsters. I looked at the clock and I realized, oh no, everyone's gonna be home soon. So I put everything away as neatly as I could, and I was sure no one would notice.
Did they notice?
Yep, they noticed. So anyway, the next day,
All right, guys, ready to play?
They asked me to play. Fine.
Now. So let's go over the rules.
Yeah, whatever. Cut to the chase. Find the monsters, kill the monsters.
Now, Redford, behave.
Jeez, okay.
Okay, so in Overboss, you're creating the ultimate overworld. So in this game, you are the monster, and your goal is to create an overworld.
Wait, hold on. What? Say that again?
So your goal is to create an overworld.
No, before that.
In Overboss, you're creating
No. After that.
In this game, you are the monster.
One more time.
In this game, you are the monster.
Okay, you got my attention.
So this is a tile drafting, tile laying game. Depending on which tile you place and where you place them on your board, you will score points. There are 11 different types of terrain tiles and matching smaller monster tokens. To begin, you randomly draw 5 terrain cards, and those will determine which terrains you will play with in your current game. The rules suggest that for your first game, you play with these. For every game, you also include the dungeon tiles. Shuffle all terrain tiles and place them on the table. Take the matching monster, portal, crystal tokens, and mini bosses and put them in the draw bag. Reveal 4 terrain tiles and place them next to the stack. Next, draw 4 random monster tokens from the bag and place one underneath each terrain tile. You're almost ready to start.
Redford!
I choose tails.
You choose tails?
Yeah.
Alright, let's continue.
Each player chooses 2 boss cards and picks one to keep. These boss cards have an ability and an end scoring condition. The ability can be used once during the game at any point during the player's turn. To use it, the player flips over the boss card and reads the ability out loud. Players will take turns choosing a tile and the monster token below it. Then, they will place the terrain tile anywhere on their board with the monster token on top. There are some exceptions to this. If the token is a portal or a crystal, it goes in your layer instead. If the terrain tile is a dungeon, the token that comes along with it goes into the layer. No tokens may be placed on a dungeon. The portal tokens can be used to swap or move already placed monster tokens around. The crystal tokens give you a point per specified terrain tile.
Are we done yet? I want to get to overbossing.
Hang on.
You continue taking turns drawing and placing tiles until everyone's boards are full. Then, you score each terrain type, and the highest score wins.
What a concept. High score wins. I have no idea how to score.
Well, let's take a look at how you score.
We'll focus on just the basic tiles. The dungeons have a base score of 1 indicated by the circle. You'll score an additional point per each unique tile that surrounds it. Diagonals don't count. The forests score a total amount depending on the number of forests on your map. So for 1 forest on your map, you'll score 1 point. For 2 forests, you'll score 3. For 3, you'll score 6, and so on. Graveyards have a base value of 1 for each. The player with the most graveyards on their map will score 5 additional points, and the second most 2. Note that this is 5 or 2 points total, not per graveyard. Camps will score points based on total number of unique camps on your board. Each camp has a colored flag in the upper right-hand corner of the tile. Caves have a base value of 1 point each. Additionally, each cave will score 2 more points if it borders a mountain. Swamps also have a base value of 1 each and will score an additional 1 point if placed next to water, plus another point if it is next to at least 1 additional swamp. The rest of the advanced tiles are described in the rulebook. At the end of the game, if you have a matching tile and monster token, you'll score 1 point for each match. You also score for bands of monsters. That is 2, 3, or 4 of the same monster type in a straight line. You'll score 2, 5, and 7 points respectively. Mini-boss tokens don't count for bands, but they do give you 2 points no matter what terrain tile they are placed on. And those are the basic rules. Once you have these down, you're ready to play.
Other than that rambling explanation, which I still don't understand, the game was great. I've never had so much fun with a monster game. I felt like a kid monster again. I don't think anything could ruin that for me. Me happy monster.
Hey Redford,
Huh?
I got a new game. Wanna play?
What's up, friends? Hope you enjoyed that.
I think you have a box in your head.
What's up, friends? We hope you enjoyed that, and we hope you've enjoyed our coverage of Overboss. So now we're going to do what you came here to watch. Or maybe they just watched what they came here. We're here for the review, okay? So let's start talking about Overboss. First of all, let's just go down to the nitty gritty. What did you think of Overboss, Sydney?
It was great.
Daniel?
Good.
Redford?
Mm-mm.
All right, so if you haven't figured it out by now, Redford is not real.
What?
I thought you would have figured this out by now. So Redford is an annoying creation by my
No, not annoying. I'm alive, okay?
by my
his
witty-
favorite child.
Yeah, okay, we'll leave it at that. So let's not talk about Redford, let's talk about Overboss. By now, you've probably seen a bunch of reviews and overviews about Overboss and
Overviews?
Hmm?
And you could have just said overview. No, that's actually really bad.
That's actually bad. Yeah. By now, you've probably seen a lot of reviews and a lot of unboxings and videos about Overboss and praising it for how good it is and how it inspires this retro feeling of another time of, or like Sydney said, of the olden days, right? And so we're here to agree with all of that, right? I mean, the game was...
Not me.
The game was exactly what it was billed to be. It was a game that inspires kind of a retro feeling, but it has substance. So I thought maybe we could just talk about what we thought about the gameplay, what we thought about the artwork, and whatever else you guys want to share. So when we played Overboss, do you think that it was easy? It was difficult? What did you think?
I think it was really easy.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
I think it was easy but frustrating when the other person takes your tile that you wanted.
Especially when we eat them.
And that's a good point because you might have a strategy in mind that you're going to go for because, again, you score depending on what tiles you put next to each other. And you might think, okay, I'm going to go for this. And then somebody takes your tiles or the tiles just don't come out, right? Like what happens in a typical tile laying game. You're expecting that perfect tile and it just never
happens.
So that does happen here, but it plays into your strategy. You're going to have to adjust as you're playing. So let's talk about the artwork in the game. What do you think about the art?
I like it. I mean, I'm really into Nintendo stuff, and I think it actually reminds me a lot, if you played a lot of DS games, reminds me a lot of the Mario and Luigi games, since, it has that 8-bit, but there's a lot of pixels, so it looks 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Something else it reminds me of, I don't know if you've played it, but it's a game called Stardew Valley. It's also pixely like this.
Right. So a lot of games now, new games, try to go for that retro art style, I think just to kind of grab that nostalgia, right, of when you were a kid. But like in your case, you guys
grew up with... it started with decent graphics.
Yeah, and so you guys are kids, but you like that nostalgia feeling. I also want to talk about this tray, right? The tray that you put the tiles in and everything. I love trays.
Yeah.
And
that's it. The video's done.
That's it.
Trays,
I love trays.
Trays are good. That's it.
Bye.
Bye.
So the tray is really good. It's not just slapped on and without thought. Everything fits in the trays. There's even room for a few more things. I guess if you didn't get the Kickstarter version, there's room for a few things. This isn't the Kickstarter version. But everything just fits nicely. That dog is
really annoying. Shut up!
Yeah, so there's a dog barking, and this it might come out in this video.
Yeah.
And we don't want to reshoot this. Never mind.
This is probably going to be an outtake, but you want to know the real story? The first video that we shot, we shot it 3 times.
Yeah.
And it was painful.
First, the file was corrupted. Second, our neighbors, you could hear them. And third, that's where we ended it.
Yeah. So since we're talking about the artwork, every tile has its own iconography, right? It tells you how to score. How did you feel the iconography worked?
So yeah, I think I used it mainly for scoring, but for actually checking what kind of biome it is, not really. I just looked at the artwork.
Okay.
I think it's pretty easy to understand. The only thing that I really didn't get at first, but now I get it, was when it had another mushroom for the swamp. I was confused, but now I know that it just means that you can have another swamp next to it for another point.
And the rulebook does a really good job of explaining the tiles and how to score each of the 11 different terrain pieces. So that's not a problem. The first couple times you play it, you'll get the iconography right away. And if you don't, you can always look at the rule book, and it's nice and clear. So that kind of leads into how easy the game was to learn. Okay, so there are some games where you have to play an entire session to maybe get it on the second or third time you play.
Yeah.
How would you say this game ranks in that aspect?
This game it was really good with rules because, I mean, we learned it in like less than 5 minutes. Cause all you really have to learn is just what the tiles do, how you place them, and that's really it.
Right.
Yeah, it was quick. You're gonna pick it up really fast.
Yeah, that's really true. And the nice thing is the game kind of scales in difficulty. It's not a hard game to learn. It's a hard game to strategize, right? And score high and get a high score, but it's not a hard game to learn. The nice thing is the game scales because you could just play with the tiles and that's it. Just try to score your highest. Then you can add on the boss cards and play with the boss cards. I think everybody recommends to start that way. I don't think you really want to play just a tile laying with no boss cards. Maybe. Depends on your group. And then if you want the ultimate challenge, then you add on the command cards. And Sydney and I played with the command cards. What did you think of the command cards?
They're really good and useful, but annoying when they're being used against you, because you can do some pretty powerful things.
Yeah. So the command cards let you do things on your board or affect somebody else's board by switching tiles around and removing tiles and doing a whole bunch of different things to affect that perfect strategy that somebody else might have. How about in terms of replayability? I think this is a pretty obvious one, but how replayable is this game?
Really, there's a really high chance that whoever you're playing with will want to play it again because it's really simple and fast.
Yeah, and this is definitely a game that when you play it once, it's not going to be the same the next time.
Yeah, especially because you have 11 different terrain pieces and you only play with 5 plus the dungeon that's in every game. Mm-hmm. And then even then, just the randomizing of the tiles and the mini bosses, or not the mini bosses, but the monster tokens, right, that are coming out of the bag, is going to give you a different game every time. And here we probably talk about a little bit about the solo mode. So I played the solo mode, not the campaign, just straight up score as many points as you can solo. And I had as much fun as playing with these guys. You know, you lose the interactivity and, you know, the puppet and all that.
How could you forget about me?
And all that other stuff about, you know, playing with other people. But the game itself, the solo mode, was great. I had a good time, and I'm looking forward to playing the campaign because that adds a few more things to keep track of in the solo game. Okay, so now we get to the non-gamers. So if you've watched a couple of the reviews we've done, we always try to rate a game on how likely is a non-gamer to not only want to play this game, but also enjoy it. And there's 3 possible ratings we give to a game. Now keep in mind, this has nothing to do with how good the game is, in our opinion. It's strictly how likely is a non-gamer going to want to play and enjoy this. So one possibility is set it up. The game is easy to learn, it's not super long, the rules are not complicated, and it has an attractive theme. The other possibility is, I'll think about it. So the game does look attractive, but maybe the rules are just a little bit too complicated, or maybe the game just overstays its welcome by being just a little too long.
Or too big in the box.
Or too big in the box, yeah. And the third possibility is forget about it. Nope, don't even bring it up. There's no way, no chance at all. That's because the game is either like 3 hours long or the rule book is, as thick as the box. Any number of things. So, Overboss gets...
Set it up.
That's right.
And we have proof because a non-gamer actually played this.
Your mother?
Yes.
Yeah. So my wife, who is a non-gamer, and again, if you've seen some of these videos, we've talked about it before. The game that she chooses to sit down and play has to fit all these requirements, right? And this one was a no-brainer. It was easy to learn. It was quick, and that's one thing we didn't touch on, how quick the turns are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the game goes by really fast.
One turn, take a tile, place it, done.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, in fact, when she sat down to play, she took her turn, and then, she got on her phone to check her Instagram, I guess. and before she could hit follow on Board Dad, it was right back at her.
Shameless plug.
All right, so that's our review of Overboss. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it. If you enjoy this content, leave a like, comment down below, and while you're there, why not go ahead and subscribe and click that notification bell so you can be notified when we upload new content. But for now, that's it. We'll see you
In the next one.
Redford!